Welcome back, everybody, to the Bedrock Guide, the series where we talk about everything Minecraft. And today we're going to be covering a topic that I consider to be one of the most underused features in the entire game, and that is travel companions. I'm going to be ranking these travel companions based on a set of criteria that includes accessibility, speed, jump height, utility, and variety to determine what is the best travel companion in the entire game. We're going to start with the accessibility for all of these animals and go from there. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it with the horse. Luckily enough for me, I live in a plains biome, which is one of the two locations that horses can spawn in groups of 2 to 6. The other location that they can spawn is the savanna biome, so if you're looking for a horse, just run around one of these two locations, and after some time, you should run into one, just like our friend right here. Hello. Now, just because we found a horse does not mean that it wants to come home with us. I could attach it to a lead if I want and drag it around, but that's not gonna do me any good, right? If you want to tame a horse, all you gotta do is hop on top of its back and make sure you're facing forward the entire time, otherwise he's gonna throw you off like that. Wild horses do not like to be tamed, but eventually, if you stay on the horse long enough, you should see some hearts pop up, and now this horse belongs to me. From here, if I hop onto the horse and open up my inventory, you will now see 2 different slots for the horse. A saddle is required if you want to be able to direct the horse where to go, and the second slot we'll talk about here in just a bit. The next travel companion I want to talk about as far as accessibility goes, unfortunately I saw one earlier and I should have grabbed it when I had the chance. Oh, there he is. Hi, this is the donkey, the close cousin to the horse. Same thing with the horse. You can mount the donkey, and as soon as you see the hearts, you've made a new friend. Apparently, this guy doesn't want to be mine just yet, but we're gonna keep trying, and there we go. If I open up my inventory, you'll see another slot for a saddle, and now we can ride around with the donkey. Just the same as horses, donkeys can spawn in plains biomes and savanna biomes, but you will find 1 to 3 in a plains biome, and you'll only find 1 at a time in a savanna biome. So if you're looking for a donkey, you might want to head to the plains to get a higher chance of getting a donkey or 3. My next travel companion has taken me to the savanna biome, and that travel companion is the llama. You'll find llamas all over the savanna and windswept varieties of biomes, and they can spawn in groups of up to 4. When you have found a llama, you can tame them similarly to donkeys and horses by mounting the llama and waiting for the hearts to appear. And man, I've got the worst luck. They just keep kicking me off. I just want to be your friend. Okay, I think we're good. However, when you open up their inventory, you do not see the same saddle slot, but instead you see a slot for a carpet. And when you get off the llama, you can see that there now is a carpet which decorates the llama, and he's looking pretty stylish. However, we do not have any control over where this llama is going. He's a free spirit and just gonna wander anywhere he wants, which is why we brought leads. When you attach a lead to a llama, it will follow you around wherever you go. Just make sure not to run too far ahead or too quickly, because leads in Minecraft are quite annoying and can break at the drop of a hat. Now this one seems to be holding pretty steady so far. The next travel companion brings me to the desert, and more specifically, the desert village. When you spawn into a world, every desert village should spawn with a camel at the center, and there he is. Not only is it a camel, it's a baby camel. Look at him. He's so cute. Camels love to eat cactus, and so if you feed them enough cactus, eventually they'll grow into a massive adult camel. Man, that thing is huge. And I've just realized I've made a massive mistake. I am about 5,000 blocks from home, and I don't have a saddle to equip on the camel to ride. And camels don't fit in boats either. So it's gonna be a long trip back. Come along, friend. What have I done? Trying to get my camel back to the house has proved a little bit difficult. I've run into a forest, and because this guy is so huge, he can't fit between certain spaces and keeps breaking the lead. And I'm also having to chop down leaves along the way to make sure that it's tall enough for him to get through. This is definitely gonna be a mark against his score. Yep. That's much better. Let's go, camel. Okay, I got the first camel home, wandered back to a village in the same desert, and found another camel, and remembered to bring a saddle this time. So, another method to equip a saddle on a rideable animal is not to go into the inventory, but to just take the saddle and right-click on them, and it equips the saddle right away. And he's so kind. He's nice enough to bend down for me, so it's easy to get on, and here we go. Time to make the 5,000 block trip back home with our second camel. If only you knew how long I have spent on getting 2 camels. It's way too long. I've got 2 of every animal we've collected so far, except for the donkey. I haven't been able to find a second one of him yet, but we're not done yet. The next traveling companion is gonna be really difficult to get. It's the pig. I wonder where I can find one. All you gotta do with a pig is take a saddle and right click, and there you go. We've got a pig ready to go, and we can't tame the pig. He just kind of does whatever his little old pig heart wants to do for now. If I take some sticks and some string, I can craft a fishing rod. Then I can go grab a carrot, and then I can combine the fishing rod with the carrot in my crafting inventory and get a carrot on a stick. And now this little piggy will take me to market, will take me home, will take me wherever I want to go, as long as his pig friends get out of the way. Okay, now that we're out in the open, here we go. Now I can ride the pig anywhere I want, and that's pretty much it. The next travel companion we're going to look for is the Strider, and he can be found in every single nether biome in the game. Oh, and goody, there's one with there's one with a zombie piglin. We're gonna leave that one alone. You know what? He's nearby. Why not? I don't see any other zombie piglins around. Okay, we're good. And that one comes equipped with a saddle. Look at that. I can save this one for something else. If you get a warped fungus on a stick, similar to how you would do a carrot on a stick, you can jump on a Strider that's got a saddle, hold that fungus on a stick in your hand, and it will walk around the nether, even on the lava. The Strider actually prefers the lava, and you can see that when he's wandering around in the lava, he turns a nice bright red. But as soon as you jump out onto... Uh-oh, that was a bad idea. But as soon as you jump out onto land, he starts turning a little bit of a purple color. He's getting a little chilly. They're also deathly allergic to rain. So if you're thinking about taking it back to the overworld like I am, you might want to make sure it's not raining first. You're also gonna need a little bit of a plan to get him across the river, if you're in the situation I am. Hold on one second. Come on, clear skies. Stay with me. All right, buddy, let's go to your new home. I know this isn't the environment you're used to, but I promise you're gonna love it. Maybe, eventually. Someday. Probably not. All right, buddy, let's just go inside and watch some TV for now. There is one last traveling companion that I want to get today that does not spawn naturally in the world. In order to get a mule, it is quite expensive, especially in the early to mid game. You gotta have golden carrots or golden apples. That's what they want to eat, so that's what you're gonna give them. If you feed a horse and a donkey a golden carrot, they will produce a baby mule. Look at that thing. He's so cute. And eventually, that baby mule will grow into an adult. Unfortunately, that is the only way to get mules. Once you have a mule, you actually can't breed another mule with another mule. It always has to be a donkey and a horse. So now that I have every single travel companion we're gonna compare today, how easy was it to get each of these guys? The top slot with 7 points is the pig. By this point in the game, if you don't have easy access to pigs, you're probably playing Minecraft wrong and should just start all over. Pigs are one of the easiest animals to get day one, so that's why they get the most points. Followed by the horse, then the llama, and then the donkey, followed by the mule, and then our good friend the Strider is next. And in last place at being the most difficult is the camel. Camels only spawn in one spot in the world, and they do not respawn in the desert village once you've removed them. So especially in my case, if you have a desert that's really far away, they can take quite the trip and quite the effort to get. So now that we've got all of these travel companions, let's talk a little bit about what they can do. One of the perks of having a travel companion is that it could get you from point A to point B a lot quicker than walking. But how do we determine which one of these is the best route to go? Let's start with the donkey. Every single donkey in every single world will travel at the exact same speed. It does not matter. There is no variation. So you can be sure that anytime you get a donkey, you're going to be traveling about this fast. But honestly, seriously, how fast is this? Well, I have invented a great way to determine exactly how fast a donkey travels, and I don't have a name for this machine. Maybe I should come up with one. But essentially, we're gonna run across this track with every traveling companion, and along the way it will light up the redstone lamps, all while being timed. When this timer runs out, no more of these lights will be allowed to be lit up, marking exactly how quickly a donkey can travel in a set time every single time, so that we can be sure this is 100% accurate. I'm not really gonna go over how to build this or even how it works today, but if you do want to see a tutorial on this, hey, let me know, and maybe I'll make a separate video or a YouTube short or something. But all we need to do is take the donkey up to the starting line. I've got a tripwire to determine every single time when the timer should start, and then we just run across all of these pressure plates. So here we go. Are you ready, donkey? Let's go! Oh man, that was so fun. Okay, let's take a look at how quick the donkey ran across the track. This donkey was able to light up 25 out of 32 lights. And because this timer is set to exactly 4 seconds every time, that brings us to exactly 6¼ blocks per second. Honestly, that's not bad. This guy's a little speed demon. Let's give the horse a try next. Horses, unlike donkeys, can have varying speeds from horse to horse. And as you can see, this one's not very fast. I can almost guarantee you this is not gonna outrank the donkey. This guy's really slow. Yeah, that's 16 lights, which means 4 blocks per second. Just for reference as well, I'm gonna run across this track without an animal, just by myself, on foot. Let's see how we do. Yeah, that's a score of 19. I'm faster on foot than riding this horse. You, my friend, are a very slow form of transportation. I don't think we're gonna be taking you out very often. If every horse were the same speed, this would definitely be in last place, based on what we've done so far. However, we've got this guy over here, and if I hop on this horse, you can immediately tell the difference. So let's reset the timer, and then we'll give horse number 2 a chance at the racetrack. Oh my goodness, let's go, horse. And every single light is lit, and we've run out of track. This horse does at least 32 blocks in 4 seconds, or about 8 blocks per second. I guarantee you it's probably just a little bit faster than that. Horses can get up to, I believe, 14 blocks per second as well, so this guy might not even be the fastest one possible, and he's zooming along. You're a keeper. I'm gonna take you everywhere. Without having done any tests yet, I think a little faster than donkey, definitely faster than the slowest horse. But just like the horse, mules can vary in speed as well. So let's see where this guy ranks. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, Mr. Mule, let's go on a race. Okay, so my instincts were correct. The mule scores a total of 27 lights, which equals to about 6.7 blocks per second. This is a little bit below average for what a mule can do, so definitely not the fastest, but it's the one that we have. I was actually showing this to my kids earlier on, and I let them name a couple of animals. Bumpy the camel and Lava Walker the Strider. Both very appropriate names. But I do think I want to take Mr. Bumpy for a ride and see what his speed can do. Now, the interesting thing about camels that does not apply to things like horses and donkeys and mules is that they have a walking pace and a sprinting pace. So the way we're going to determine how fast the camel is, I'm going to take the average of both the walking pace and the sprinting pace, and that will be our final number. This camel, by the way, is the reason we had to make this track too wide and make the walls so high. They can't fit and they try to escape. Yeah, don't growl at me. You're fine. All right, Bumpy, let's see what you got. Let's go at walking speed. Honestly, not very fast. A score of 12, not horrible, but also not great. All right, Mr. Bumpy, time for a chance at redemption. Let's see how fast you are at sprinting. Oh yeah, way faster. Still not quite as fast as the horse, but 28 is a respectable number. Great job, Mr. Bumpy. So 28 plus 12 is 40, which averages out to about 20 blocks during the 4-second timer, which averages out to be about 5 blocks per second if you alternate between sprinting and walking. That's gonna happen from time to time because terrain is not always even. You might run into trees, obstacles. So I think this is a relatively reasonable score. All right, Mr. Piggy, you're your turn. Let's go for a ride. And I can already tell you right now, unless you're out for a leisurely pace, just looking and moseying around the world, you're not gonna want to take a pig. Pigs are interesting as well because they do have a walking and sprinting state, just like the camel, but this is triggered by the carrot on a stick. When you use a carrot on a stick while riding a pig, it will put it into the sprinting state temporarily, giving you a pretty decent boost of speed, but every time you use that carrot on a stick, you lose some durability, so that could pose some problems if you use it too many times and end up breaking it while you're on the road. That's gonna leave you stranded. So, let's try walking speed first and see where we get with Mr. Pig. Oh, this is painful. It's so painfully slow. 8 blocks. Not great. But I'm gonna do the same thing as I did with the camel. We'll average out the walking and sprinting speed. And here we go. Let's go, Piggy. Let's go. Oh, that was great. That was so much better. Great job, buddy. 25 on the sprinting score. So 8 plus 25 is 33 divided by 2 is 16.5. And so far, that is the lowest average out of every single one. That puts it at just over 4 blocks per second. Not looking good for you, bud. You're not even the right one. Where did he go? They're not that fast. He couldn't have gone far. There he is. Okay, I'm taking a huge risk doing what I'm about to do here, but all in the name of science, we're going to take the Strider outside. It hasn't rained in days, and I just slept, so if it rains now, oh man, that is just bad luck. Let's just get a quick speed test done, and then you're going back indoors, bud. Again, not looking great for the Strider. They travel a lot faster on lava than they do on land, but same as the pig, if you use the warped fungus on a stick, you can make them sprint. That's what we want to call this. All right, Mr. Lava Walker, let's give you a quick test as well. And here we go at walking speed. Yeah, I gave the pig a little bit too much of a hard time. Pretty sure this guy's gonna be last place. Oh my goodness, this is so slow. Please don't rain. Please don't rain. 3. Are you kidding me? A score of 3 at walking pace. Okay, well, let's go give this a test at sprinting speed. Okay, here we go. Ready, run. Run, 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 Mr. Strider. Let's go. That's so much better, but still not great. 16 blocks. He travels slower at sprinting speed than I do at sprinting speed, just walking. Yeah, buddy, it's not looking good for you either, but we're gonna get you back indoors before this becomes a dangerous situation for you. Okay, that was the one I was most worried about, and now we can relax. Whatever mechanics Mojang has given to the llama, they need to give to every other animal you could put on a lead. I can sprint with this guy in tow, and the lead is yet to break. The only thing I could see breaking it is if he gets stuck on like an obstacle, like a tree. But good grief, this is awesome. As mentioned earlier in the video, you can ride llamas, but you cannot direct them where to go if you're riding. So unfortunately, this travel companion requires that you travel yourself. I'm still gonna rank it on the speed scale, but basically, however fast the player can walk and run, that's what the speed's gonna be. So I'm gonna start out with the walking pace, and I'll do the same thing I've done with every other animal. We'll average it out between walking and sprinting to get the final score. So on average, the llama scores a total of 16 lights between sprinting and walking pace, which averages out to be about 4 blocks per second. So if there was any doubt in your mind before, there shouldn't be now. When it comes to speed, the horse is the clear winner. Nothing else even comes close. Next in the ranking is the mule because of the potential for speeds just like the horse, followed closely by the donkey, and then the camel, and the pig, the Strider, and last but not least, the llama. The bottom 3 were actually a difficult decision for me to make. Even though technically the llama was way faster than the Strider and probably the pig as well, I ranked it at the bottom because we can't ride it while we're traveling, which kind of defeats the purpose of a traveling companion, and we will have to worry about hunger and making sure the leads don't break. It just becomes a little bit of a hassle. There are specific uses for llamas that we'll talk about here shortly, but so far, it's looking like the horse is the front runner. Will that stay the case? I don't know, but let's go ahead and go on to the next criteria, which is jump height. To run the jump tests, I'm gonna have to put together a contraption so complex that it's gonna put this one over here to shame. Are you ready? That's it. Okay, I guess it wasn't that hard. These 5 pillars are going to determine how high each of the animals can jump. And since the horse is the front runner so far, let's just start with them. So obviously this one can just walk over 1 block. That's fine. And we can leap over 2 blocks. How about 3 blocks? I've timed the jump perfectly 2 or 3 times, and I cannot make it over this 3rd pillar. But just like variable speed, horses have variable jump heights. Old Slowpoke over here might be slow, but let's see how high he can jump. We're gonna give him 1. How about 2? Yep, that one's simple. How's about 3? Oh my goodness, look where we are. Happy about that one. What about 4 pillars? It seems we've reached our limit at 3. Honestly, not mad about it. That's pretty average for a horse. They can jump up to 5 blocks, so I am gonna go ahead and rank it as if they did jump 5 blocks, because if we breed them long enough or find a horse in the wild that has the ability to do that, we can do it. So we'll give the horse the rank of 5 blocks. And you know what? Before we move on, I'm kind of curious about half blocks. So there's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. We made it up to 3 with this horse, right? Can it make it up to 3.5 blocks? 3 is the max height for this horse. That's okay. Average isn't a bad thing. How about the mule? Let's give that one a test. And obviously 1 block, not a problem. 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Well, okay, good. We made it up 1.5. Good job. How about 2? Okay, well, this one doesn't seem to be able to jump very high, but I'm gonna treat it the same way that I would the horse. There is potential for mules to jump the same height as horses, so they're getting the 5 block treatment. Similarly to horses and mules, donkeys can also have varying heights. They're gonna end up on the 5 scale, but just for the sake of testing, let's see what this particular donkey can do. He can't even make it up 1.5 blocks. This is clearly not a good example of a jumping donkey. The height of horses, donkeys, and mules is determined by their parent. So if you've got a good stat on one of the parents, it's likely that the baby donkey or horse or mule will inherit that same trait as well. Let's talk about the camel. Camels are interesting because their jump mechanics do not work the same way. A camel is only able to jump 1 block in the air, but it lunges up to 12 blocks forward. So while you may not be able to jump over this wall, it could provide for some interesting situations, like maybe you're trying to cross a river and you need to jump the gap. The camel can do that. Horses, donkeys, mules, not so much. But because that is such a limited situation and we're more focused on traveling in general, we're not always gonna come across a situation where we can just easily get up and down, especially with mountains. One other interesting fact about camels as well, I don't think any other animal can do this. They can walk directly over fences. That's kind of cool. Has nothing to do with jumping, but something good to know. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Camel, you're going down here on the 1. Let's see what your friends can do. The llama's an interesting character as well because we can't ride them, so we can't really test their jump capabilities. The only thing that I could think of was maybe to push him off the ladder here and try to jump up, see if we can pull him up with the lead. But even that's not working very well. Maybe in a more realistic scenario, we would do something like this. Okay, all right. So we can pull him up multiple blocks. Maybe if we break this and break that. All right, here we go. Let's test it out. There we go. He clearly was able to make that 2-block jump with me pulling him along with the lead. I don't know if he could do 3. Let's test this out. Can the llama jump up 3 blocks? Wow, okay. We were able to pull him up 3. How about 4? I'm gonna have to fix all of this terrain, but it's worth it for science. Okay, can he go up 4 blocks? Yes! Good job, llama. How about 5? Go down there. I'm not ready for you yet. Thank you. Oh, you just spit at me. What are you doing, sir? No, thank you. Okay, how about 5? Can you go up 5 blocks? Oh, come on. You can do it. Okay, that's where the lead breaks. Man, I really thought we were onto something there. I'm gonna try it one more time just to be sure. Can we make it up 5 blocks? Oh my. Yes, we can with the right leverage. 5 blocks is possible. Okay. The true test. Will it outshine the horse, the donkey, and the mule? Coming right up after we sleep. Moment of truth. Can the llama jump 6 blocks in the air? Oh, he was so close. The lead broke, though. One more try. We're not giving up that easy. One more try. I feel like this is cheating. I pillared up and he was able to make it up and over. I don't know that I'm gonna count that. But theoretically, let's look at it this way. If a llama is on a lead and we pillar up into the air straight up, the llama can jump higher than any other animal in the game. Case closed. Llama wins, I think. Oh my word. I feel like that's gotta be cheating. What do you guys think? Should we give it to the llama? We're gonna put llama right here off the charts for now. And I'll think about it while we move on to the next animal. All right, Mr. Piggy. You failed the speed test. How about the jump test? Can you do a single block? Yes, you can. Can you do a block and a half? You're trying your hardest. If I hit the jump button like I do with the donkey or the horse or the camel, I just jump off the pig. Pigs can't jump. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. You're gonna lose this one too. Same thing goes for our strider friend here. Can't jump and only goes up one block. And I'm not taking him out to risk him getting in the rain, so just take my word for it or test it out yourself. Either way is fine. So on one end of the spectrum, we have the pig and the strider that can't jump at all, and they don't even deserve to be on the chart with the camel, because at least the camel can jump and jump forward. But then we have the horse, the mule, and the donkey who can all potentially jump over 5 blocks tall. That's pretty crazy. Then there's the llama, and I've given it some thought, and I'm gonna put it over here at 4 blocks because that's what we were able to reasonably do. Jumping and bringing the llama up over the hill, pillaring up like we did to go infinite blocks in the air could potentially be done with anything you can put on a lead. Take this random pig, for example. We'll just go ahead and pillar up and see how high we can go. Yeah. Same thing applies. The llama is not special in this case, so it's not gonna get the win. And out of every category so far, I think this is the first time I'm going to give a 3-way tie to the #1 spot. And with that, we have our updated rankings, but that's not all. There are still 2 more categories I want to judge these animals by to determine which is the best travel companion. And the next one up is utility. This is where the horse might start to lose a little bit of his edge, because the horse doesn't have a whole lot of utility. I mentioned earlier in the episode that if you open up the inventory, there are 2 slots, one for the saddle and the other one for horse armor. And that can also be equipped by right-clicking on the horse with the armor in hand. And you can get horse armor for these guys ranging from leather all the way up to diamond. And the nice thing about this is they're a little bit more protected on your travels. Other than that, that's pretty much all they do. Next up, we have donkeys and mules who can pretty much do the exact same thing. While there is no slot for armor, and you cannot protect them any more than they already are, you can use a chest on a donkey and equip it so that now this donkey will have 15 inventory slots that we can store things in addition to our normal inventory we carry with us. That could be really useful in some situations where maybe you're moving to a new location, like we're going to be doing not too long in the distant future. And the same thing goes for the mule. If you use a chest on the mule, you can equip it for an additional 15 inventory slots as well. If you don't want to ride the mule and open up your inventory to access the chest, you can just crouch and then hit the use button, which on PC for me would be the right click button, and it will open up the inventory directly just while we're standing here. The llama is an interesting case when it comes to equipping chests because the amount of inventory slots can vary, which scales directly related to the strength of the llama. So that one only has 3 slots. How many does this one have? 9. So because not all llamas are going to be the same strength, not all llamas will have the same inventory spaces. So in that case, I would rank llamas directly below donkeys and mules if it were not for this one fact. Are you ready to have your mind blown? You might already know this, and if you do, that's okay. Llamas like to travel in packs. So right now, I have 2 llamas. I can put this one on a lead, and as soon as I do, this llama will fall in line and come along with me. So rather than only being able to ride 1 donkey, I can form a caravan of 10 llamas all together using 1 lead. So let's say that 10 llamas have an average of maybe 9 slots apiece. That's 90 inventory slots that we can carry all at once, as opposed to the 15 on the donkey or the mule. And it gets even crazier than that. If I put a lead on a second llama, I can have an additional 10 llamas in the caravan for up to 20 llamas altogether, doubling the inventory space to 180 slots. There is absolutely no limit to the number of llamas you can have following you. The only limit is how many you can put on a lead and how many you can breed. I don't know, man. For the first time, I think llamas might win this category. Next up is camels. Camels are pretty much the same as horses, except for they can't get armor. The only real utility that I can find out of Bumpy here is the fact that they can carry 2 people at a time. In a single player series like this, that doesn't really help me out a whole lot, but if you play on multiplayer worlds, you and a friend can go traveling together on the same camel. And then we come to the pig, who has absolutely no utility at all. What you see is what you get. This one's definitely getting last place. The Strider's pretty much the same way, other than the fact that it can walk on lava in the nether, so it's gonna get the edge over the pig, just not by much. Because this category is all about utility, I've got to give the win to the llama. All the rest of these animals, except for the pig and the Strider, have some pretty decent utility to them as well, but being able to carry infinite amount of inventory with you is kind of a mind-boggling fact. I'm gonna have to experiment with this a little bit. There's a reason that the phrase traveling in style exists, and because of that reason, we're gonna judge our next criteria on variety. We want to look good while we're traveling with our animals, right? So let's go ahead and start off with the donkey, the mule, the camel, and the pig. All of these are getting 1 point because they have absolutely no variety. They're all the same. You can't make them look any different. Yeah, they definitely lose. But as for the horse, not only does it have the ability to change what color armor it has based on material, the coloring and coat of the horse itself comes in a pretty wide variety. There are 7 colors of horses with up to 5 potential different patterns that can appear on every color of horse, giving you a total of 35 potential options for a horse in the game. That's pretty good. The Strider, while not as impressive as the horse, is definitely more impressive than the donkey, the mule, the camel, and the pig because this guy changes color based on his environment. Right now, he's going to be a purple color because he's kind of chilly and he's a little sad. But when you get Lava Walker, the Strider, onto a lava lake, he turns back to that bright red color and his frown gets a little bit less frowny. You can also see that he's shivering a little bit too because of the temperature. I just wanted you to come live with me and my friends out here. But the most impressive of all, in my opinion, is the llama. The llama comes in 4 different colors, and each of those colors of llamas can be equipped with a carpet. The pattern on the carpet is determined by the color, so you can get some pretty cool variety out of these. For example, if I switch out this white carpet for a gray carpet, now we have a totally different looking llama. Same thing goes if I change out the white carpet on this one for a green carpet. We've got a green pattern on the llama. Just another couple examples. Here's one with red. Looks like he's part of the Gryffindor house. And last but not least, my personal favorite, because my favorite color is blue. Oh, look how regal he looks with that blue and gold. Yes, it's perfect. With the 16 colors of carpet and the 4 colors of llamas, we get a total of 64 options of variety. And that's not all. If you stick around an area long enough, you're bound to run into one of these guys, the Wandering Trader. The Wandering Trader spawns with 2 llamas on Bedrock Edition every single time, and they can come in any of the variety of colors of the regular llamas, but they spawn with the special Wandering Trader carpet. But if we dismiss the Wandering Trader from his job, you're fired. They're gonna spit at me once or twice, and eventually they'll stop being mad at me, and now we can tame them. Look at this. All right. So if I open up the inventory on this one, you'll notice that there is no carpet equipped on the Wandering Trader llama, and if I equip one, it's going to immediately change the carpet to the color that I put on, and then if I take it off, it goes back to being the Wandering Trader llama. This is kind of cool. It adds a little bit more variety, bringing our total variety for llamas to a number of 68 options. And I think that's the clear winner of the variety category. But the question remains, out of accessibility, speed, jump height, utility, and variety, what is the overall winner of today's guide? Unfortunately, our friend the Strider has come in last place in the rankings. As ugly cute as he looks, there's just not a whole lot of use outside of the nether for this guy. He's pretty slow, not a ton of variety, can't jump, just overall if you're looking for a travel companion, you might want to leave this guy at home. And even though the camel tied for the same score, I'm going to give the camel the edge because the camel can travel the overworld without fear of dying in the rain. But aside from that, unless you're playing on a multiplayer server and you want to go exploring together, the utility and variety of this camel and the ease of access to get it at the very beginning from a desert just kind of puts it at the bottom of the rankings. It's a cool animal, and I'm glad they added it, but I don't know that I'm going to use him very often. I am shocked that the pig ranked higher than both the strider and the camel, but the numbers don't lie. He's slow, he's terrible, he has no variety, has no utility. The only thing this guy has going for him is it's the easiest animal on the list to find and get access to. The mule and the donkey were so close, but I ranked the mule as being slightly lower by 1 point just because you cannot breed them once you have them. You always have to have a donkey and a horse in order to get a mule, so that's kind of where it lost out. But aside from that, the donkey and the mule are pretty close in ranking. And in second place, the llama, a huge shocker because it's the only animal on this list that you cannot ride and take it wherever you want it to go. You have to pull it around by a lead, but the storage capability and the caravan capability of these things and the sheer variety that you can get with carpets and colorings makes this a strong second place. But the tried and true horse, there's a reason a classic is a classic, and it is unbeatable. Based on our rankings, it comes in at a staggering 30 points, 6 points ahead of the second place animal. No, it can't carry extra stuff, but eventually we're gonna get shulker boxes and ender chests. Put those shulker boxes in, so storage isn't really gonna be a huge factor for us going forward. But with all of the variety, the speed, the jump height, the ability to protect them with armor, all in all, if you're going on a long adventure, the horse is gonna be the way to go. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would you have ranked these on different criteria that I didn't include in this video? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any content just like this. And hey, don't go anywhere. There's more Bedrock Guide content on the way.